Hey, friends and family. Hey, loved ones. Hey, beloveds. Hi, companions and reflections and teachers. Hi. It's been a good week this week. And I have some awesome things to follow up with from last time. And it's so amazing, like, just to keep receiving all of these confirmations and affirmations and synchronicities around, yeah, my own process of alchemy and navigating these new waters that feel brand new, anyways, and enjoying the sunshine and enjoying spring and enjoying the moment as being, like being here. And one of the amazing things that so helped me so much was slowing down, taking a page from turtle medicine and slowing down so that it almost seemed I wasn't doing anything. And that was super interesting, like practicing and playing with that. And I was able, actually, in the last month, to get a lot of things done, not by doing, but by being. And so, it's super enjoying, yeah, playing with this and just being one, being one at peace within myself. And yeah, it was just one step at a time and getting out of my own way and letting go of old beliefs that it has to be one right way, and or that it needs to be, has to be forced in any certain way, and letting go of uncertainties and embracing, yeah, uncertainty, because life is uncertainty. That's what reality is. We like to think we're so sure of certain things, but then we learn and we grow some, we learn, we grow, we learn something new. And um, the things that we thought we knew, we now know more. And so we change our mind, we change our perception, we change the way we relate to things. And it's so, so fun and so interesting, really. And so, yeah, what do I want to share today? What wants to be shared today? Just letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go of what I think I need to be, do, or say, or offer, or give. And just be. Yeah, today was a happy day. I got to spend some time with my granddaughter and my daughter. I've been helping out with my little granddaughter for a couple days a week and enjoying that. And that is another great blessing to help me be more present as well. And so yesterday, yeah, I woke up and kind of took all the pressure that I normally put on myself and just said my only, yeah, job today is just to be present. I don't need to get anything done. Everything's fine the way that it is. And I just get to be present and respond. And it was so nice. It felt so good. Like, just to enjoy, like, the moment. And she's showing me so much, and just caring for her and loving her as the love that she is, as the love that she always is, and the love she gets to be, whether she's crying or happy, or tired or, yeah, needing something. It's all okay. And it just gets to be whatever it is in the moment. And it just is allowed to be, and it always changes. And so it's kind of funny. Um, just laying her down and changing her on the changing table and stuff. And sometimes, she gets a little upset, and I just sit there and I talk to her, and I'm like, yep, it's okay. That's okay if you want to cry right now. You'll cry and you'll have some tears, and then you'll smile again, and then And then you'll be happy again, and then will be more tears, and then it just keeps on going, and the world keeps on spinning, and the wheel keeps on turning, and it goes around and around. And she she stops crying, and she like looks at me like she's listening. She's like, yeah, I know, Grandma. But she's so adorable and so precious and so sweet, and I just love, yeah, this new role I get to play, and things are like feeling really good and really like a lot lighter, and just there's a lot more ease in my relationship with my daughter right now as well, and it feels really good, and it just feels easy, and it feels authentic, and it feels great. So there's less pressure on me to please, but I know that like, yeah, I can just be, and I can just be the loving person that I am, and yeah, no matter how I am or how I get to be, and I know like what's mine and what's not mine to carry, and I know like my freedom and my responsibilities. And so it's a different place to be operating from, and to be like working and playing from, you know. So, oh, it just feels good. So, yeah, just enjoying the last 2 days with my girls, and then I got to meet with another friend today, who, who's very dear to me, who I helped to raise. I was her nanny, and she's been coming over like weekly, and had been kind of helping her with some like coaching, because she'd been going through some difficult times, some challenging times in her life, and just we're just meetings for mutual support, and um, she's coming to me for a little bit of guidance and helping her, like kind of giving her some writing prompts and some journal assignments, like for her to work on if she chooses to, because it is her choice, it is up to her, and just some suggestions and things. And last week I gave her a gratitude, a gratitude practice, and that really, really helped her so, so much this week. Just focusing on like all the things there are to be grateful for. And it's such a difference between night and day. Like last week, um, just like felt really, really sad and really frustrated because she felt like things were never going to change. And I did tell her, that's good to be aware of. It's good to be aware of how you feel. It's good to know, like, when we feel powerless, and where we feel discouraged, and it's good to be aware of that so that we can reclaim that power. And those things that come up show us, like, where we still have been feeling like a victim, or feeling victimized by our situations and things. And so I said, awareness is a really great place to start. It's good that you're aware of how you feel. You feel this way. And so, how can we turn it around? You know, how do we turn it around for ourselves? And yeah, so I'm so super grateful that that gratitude practice really did help. And I know how much it's helped me so much to focus on like what we actually do have to be grateful for, rather than what we feel is lacking, or focusing on what we feel like we don't have. And so just really, really feels good to see people doing well, people that I care about, and feeling well myself. And so, yeah, showing up to support each other and to, yeah, be that light for each other and for ourselves. So it feels really good. And got to go for a little walk today and get some sunshine. That was so nice. And so, yeah, just getting out of my own way, and inviting love, joy, spontaneity, and authenticity, and all of life's gifts, all of life's blessings that are also sometimes challenges, And so challenging myself and challenging others in like loving, kind ways, in ways that still honor like who they are, where they are, and encouraging them as well, challenging certain things, like in kind and caring ways. So, just going to share a couple pages from the last couple days because I received some amazing messages and they were just so beautiful. They were just so beautiful to me. So, April 2nd, 2022. I allow life to change. The form may change, but the essence remains. Yes, life. Thank you, life. Yes, unity. I forgive myself. I am one with Creator and creation. I love myself. I am a part of all things. I love myself. I am love, and I am loved always. I am worthy, I am free, I am whole, love always. I revere, I do not fear the illusion and the unknown. I arise, I do not rely on external authority, validation, safety, or certainty, and false consensus, pop culture reality. I surrender, I remember, love is free always. So I choose to get out of my own way. I step out of judgment and I come back home to me. I come back home to my heart and I remember all this love I am. Always. I step out of judgment, lack, fear, and victim mentality, and I choose love, gratitude, joy, union, appreciation, kindness, peace, and cheer, playfulness, innocence, creative fertility, and all the gifts right here. I let go to allow love to regenerate, flow, grow, and change. I choose to let go and surrender. I trust love is always. The form may change, but the essence remains. I allow life to change. I really think and feel that compassionate disclosure is super needed, and there really is good news to be shared, celebrations, opportunities, and lessons, growth, and blessings for expansion and full embodiment of our true soul's expression, and serving, living, enjoying, giving, mastering, creating, being here as love, receiving all of me, all this love there is, all around and within me. I'm realizing today, as old thought forms and thoughts come up for me, to see that there are stories related to smallness, comparison, and lack mentality programs, self-doubts and insecurity, enoughness, survival strategies, forgetting and remembering. So I am not separate and I have all I need and I am beautiful. I am this love within and all around me. It's my true love for beauty and life, my soul, our soul, her soul, that is the true essence of my beauty, and that will always be and shine through. It's my love and my inherent worth and value. I am love always. So that's been a big theme this week, is the value, like seeing our own worth and seeing our own value and appreciating that and including that and acknowledging that. April 3rd. Forgiving myself for not knowing and letting go with love. So I've been thinking about judgment and the judgment archetype in the tarot and the completion of a growth cycle, a successful initiation and integration. Wow, I had so many magic moments yesterday, transmuting doubt, fear, lack mentality, insecurity, inferiority, and seeing things come up around being capable, smart, worthy, enough, valuable, and desirable. All the judgments, programming, and conditioning that kept me stuck in a time loop, frozen in time, defending myself or defending little me because I didn't feel safe, worthy, loved, accepted, valued, honored, seen, validated, allowed, included, or worthy. I felt constantly judged as lacking the right stuff, or I was wrong in so many ways, always trying to make up for some flaw, some sin or shortcoming, always fixing or manipulating something to make it all okay, for me and we. This is a learned coping mechanism and inherited and adopted survival strategy. So I said, yes, life. Thank you, life. Thank you for this gift, this golden opportunity to love all of me and we. And remember, all this love is free. It's free to receive, free to give, free to be. So when we're in love, we are not in the state of judgment. So I've been looking into the judge and the victim, those archetypes, that keep us stuck and separate us from ourselves, cut ourselves off from the whole that we are and the whole that we're a part of. We are whole beings and we are a part of that greater whole. I receive so many blessings and nuggets of wisdom. Holy shit. This cosmic coherence and fertilizer is lit legit. Let there be light. So, after I wrote this, and I had been transmuting like old fears and judgments and self-doubts that kept coming up all day. It was like an all-day thing on Saturday, and it was so super interesting just to observe and just to watch certain things come in. And it was like really old, programming. And for some reason, it was like relentless that day. And it was just like, oh, okay. After a little while, instead of like, oh, what do I do with this? How do I fix this? And I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't need to fix it. I just get to allow it to be here. And I get to remind myself, like, what's really true. And thanking these parts of myself for, kind of popping up and chiming in. And like, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for me. This is like a challenge for me and a blessing for me so that I can transform these residual things, and I can meet them and I can work with them and I can play with them right now, and I can say thank you for showing me like where I can love me, where I haven't been loving me or accepting me. I accept that, and I just sent that love to myself as I was feeling all these things and allowing the feelings to be moved, and to be changed, or just to be surrendered. And thanking that victim and thanking that judge, and realizing, that it was really like what hurt me so much was me constantly judging me, like being in that loop. And then that's why it would hurt so much when I felt like the judgment come from the outside, is because I was constantly already like doing that to myself. And so there was a lot of good work that day, and I'm still processing some of it. But the next day, my auntie had texted me and told me about her work, how she'd been transmuting and transforming certain judgments the same day. And I was like, this is this is amazing. This is just too cool. Such a great mirror, and such a great affirmation and confirmation that this is the time that we get to choose to do like this work. And so it was so fun, like, to hear a little bit about what she had been working with and what had been coming up for her. And she had been writing down different judgments, and she had been judging herself about making judgments. And I know, like, that's like one of the funniest things too, when we're judging something and we judge ourselves for being that judge, and then we get like totally stuck on that wheel of samsara, and until we let go of the judgments, until we step out of that, say, oh, okay, and just use our discernment rather than judgment. And they are very different things. But the same day, I came across a video, and it was by somebody I'd never seen before, but I've just kind of drawn to it. And it was about astrological conjunction on the 12th that we're going to have, and Jupiter and Neptune conjunct in Pisces on April 12th. And so I'm going to put the link in the description, but I had to take some notes on this because it was just mind-blowing, and it was everything that I needed to hear. And it was totally aligned with everything that was, yeah, in mind, held in my mind. And it's just so perfect. So I'm just going to read a few of these things. So April 12th. So that universal date adds up to 13. Number 12 is the vibration of the student of learning, of growth through joy, happiness. So always finding that place where you trust in the divine intelligence and wisdom to guide you, and that joy of letting go and surrendering is then inspiring you to literally learn, grow, and expand your wisdom. 13 is the number of lunar cycles that we have in a year, the 4 seasons, and we have 13 weeks in each season, so it embodies the divine feminine, so that divine feminine consciousness, yeah, and the divine feminine arts of healing in terms of change and transformation, going with the flow. The incredible message for this conjunction that happens at 23 degrees in Pisces, the royal star of the lion, the strongest number that embodies strength and courage to take the divinely inspired path. Jupiter is about faith, and Neptune is about the dissolution of judgment of others. Joining together, we are all one, and we all come from the same source and joining higher consciousness. Spiritually, Jupiter is faith, expansion, and wisdom, the path of the heart, the wisdom of the heart. This is an enhancement and an amplification being enhanced. So there's a magical, mystical, dreamlike journey where we literally are in touch with the overall dreams that we hold in our heart, which is to love each other and live together in harmony. So we have faith in the divine and in our natural ability to feel good, abundant, loved, and to connect to the eternal because we are eternal. The shadow side of Pisces and Neptune, delusion and feeling disillusion and disenchantment, disappointment and disconnection, when we betray ourselves. So self-betrayal is when we choose not to listen to or trust our feelings and intuition in favor of our ego desires, our small self-image. And this is victim frequency, the shadow side of Pisces, and Neptune is to feel like the victim. And the Piscean age we're leaving behind now as we move into the Aquarian age. This experience of the Piscean age was the age where we really felt what it was like to be a victim or a victimizer and learn to choose otherwise. It was to help us see what victimization is and to not get stuck in that victim frequency, which is when we judge everything. We judge ourselves and others. So we are moving forward now. And this conjunction is one of the big moments of birthing this new world where we get to remind ourselves to be in love with everything we see, with everything we get to see, that everything is a reflection of the divine, because if we're not in love with everything we see, we are in judgment of it. If we're not in love with everyone and everything that we see, that's our vision. That's our true vision. And see it as an actual reflection of the divine for whatever purpose that it serves. If we are not in love with it, we are in judgment of it. So we are always loving it back. And we always bring it back to the heart. The main message is the wisdom of the heart is colorblind. It does not get its prompts from external imagery. What we see, what we're measuring, constantly looking externally out there instead of within. And so that was like huge for me, because it's like, yeah, it's not really my job to love everyone out there. It's my job to love that aspect that person's showing me, that aspect of myself, to give that to myself. If I'm in judgment of something on the outside of me, it means that I get to bring it back to myself and love that aspect that lives within me. I don't have to do anything with the outside, you know. I get to come back to myself and to my heart and to hold that part of myself with love and surrender that part of myself to love. So the heart cannot judge. So we bring it back to the heart. So if we're constantly looking externally out there instead of within, we're not in our heart when we do that. So it's the mind, not the heart, that needs healing. Yeah. And Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're clearing all these old things, all these old beliefs, all this old programming. So we really need to observe and say, well, how much am I actually living in my heart without judgments? Because the heart makes love to what it sees as dissonant or discordant. Dissonance in music is not a bad thing. Harmony and dissonance work together as one to reflect the gamut of everything that is possible. Everybody has a very unique way of growing, and so our hearts make love to what it sees as dissonant or discordant. Because we know that they are going through their own lessons, and so have we, you know? And so it's just like allowing that other side of it, like to be, because there is a place for it and there is a purpose that it does serve. And so, but it doesn't have to be like in our vicinity, you know. We can choose what we want and we allow into our own space. So everybody has a very unique way of growing, and so our hearts make love to what it sees as dissonant or discordant. Our hearts will show us all Our hearts will show all of us that what's external is the illusion and what's internal is reality. This is where we surrender to trust, to surrender and trust in the divine wisdom, in the wisdom of the heart. Pisces is unconditional love that is the highest expression of Pisces. So when we bring polarity to things, when we do not make love to everything that seems discordant to us, we create judgment, which creates polarity. And then once we polarize it, it's separate from us. We actually have created a barrier to love itself and the universe's love. So love is the origin of everything, so we don't have to worry about our world not being loved. It is made from love. We get to focus on being in our heart so that we can resonate to the rhythm of that love. So we ourselves don't need to feel like we need to receive healing of any kind, because here's the thing. It's the information that we operate from, that we put in our mind, that's what actually needs to be healed and helped. And so, yeah, it's the information that we operate from that we put in our mind. That's what actually needs to be healed and helped. The heart doesn't take in information, the heart operates from a place of wisdom. So the only purpose we have here on earth is that the world needs more heart. The world needs acceptance that everything is love, and that everything, for that reason, has to play out. The way love is expressed, and love is the gamut of everything. Because remember, love, the universe, is made from love. So there's the shadow side and the light. We don't have to separate them from each other and create this polarity between the two. So the only purpose we have on earth, because the world is made of, with, and for love, is not to judge things as good and evil. It's all really about acceptance and about feeling that sense of the Aquarian age, which is the multidimensional. We are all in this together, and we all just need to follow our own heart to be true to ourselves, to be in total integrity with our soul. Our purpose is just to live here and be present. That's how we connect to the language of light and love. So when we are consciously paying attention to the shadow side, we also pay attention to the light world. We can then create something that is truly magical because we are accepting both. We are in a state of acceptance that both exist, and for that reason, we are able to create a new world of non-judgment. It's a world of acceptance, and that is the world we can use our will force, our will to create. Observing that when we go into our old patterns of judgment, of polarity, of separation, that we can come back home. Here we always come back home. Here, this is our home. This is the everlasting soul connection. So Jupiter's exuberance always lights things up, and it delights with its exuberant energy. It sees over the horizon. It sees beyond where we are. So this is a moment to recognize that divine spark, that spark from the beyond, the divine spark of creation, that you are eternal. We are. We are literally able to integrate the physical and spiritual at once. That is just stunning. That is the magic, as we integrate the light and the dark by stopping judgment, because that's the way we're going to be able to get through this period in a wholesome way. Because, yeah, it's operating from a place of wholeness. We're not denying our light and we're not denying our shadow. And so we are integrating both and we are honoring both. And so we can operate and remember that we are whole and operate from that wholeness in a wholesome way. So, divine inspiration, faith, gratitude, appreciation, magic, joy, beauty, unity, forgiveness and acceptance, love, union, strength. The feminine and the masculine in balance, compassion, trust, faith. Non judgment begins with you, amazing grace. Forgiveness begins with you. Forgiveness can only come from you. You cannot forgive another because it truly is something within you that feels disconnected. And so you can only forgive yourself. And that is how the heart works. The heart never judges, the mind does, but the heart cannot. So you come back to your heart, and that's the forgiveness that liberates us from separation, illusion, judgment, suffering. Yeah. And so, yeah, I was inspired by, yeah, the offerings and the wisdom that was offered. And so, just having, yeah, just wanted to like play with all this. And because it does resonate, and it's the truth of the heart. It's the wisdom of the heart. So Pisces helps us to let go of that judgment through compassion and forgiveness, and that's how you get in touch with your heart so easily, because you're operating from that natural flow. You are trusting that you are guided from a place that your mind cannot comprehend, but your heart can. Surrender, let go, let love, and let it all be whole. You have all the wisdom you need in your heart. You don't need help. You don't have to feel like you need to bring love to the world. The world is created from love. You just need to resonate with the natural flow of love that's already here, and that is done from right here. So step out of judgment. I am love. I am loved always. We are. We are this love here always. So, and there are very similar messages coming through from some other podcasts that I got to see. And yeah, so many affirming things. Letting go of judgments that we no longer have to wear or carry. It's so cool to see that this is the true vision. Seeing everyone as whole, seeing myself as whole, others as whole, seeing all as powerful and valuable, worthy and essential part of the whole. Accepting what is, life as she is, accepting ourselves and accepting where we are, allowing all others to be as they are, and allowing ourselves to be all we are, all the love that we are. And yeah, there was something my auntie had sent me as well. It was a little meme, and I think it was the 6 laws of detachment. Let's see. Yes, the laws of detachment. Allow others to be who they are. Allow yourself to be who you are. Don't force situations. Solutions will emerge. Uncertainty is reality. Embrace it. So that was so perfect for me to receive, and another great synchronicity of the things that I've been focusing on and playing with. So April 4th, oh yeah, I got to hang out with a friend, and I had such amazing, beautiful conversations with her. And so grateful for the gift of friendship and the gift of all this love that keeps giving, and just, yeah, all that we do, like all that we are for each other and all that we do get to share. And some amazing conversations that we had to do with like some of the codes that we carry for ourselves, for each other, and the collective. And yeah, sometimes there's certain things happening without us even realizing it or knowing it, and just being in each other's space and being in each other's energy fields. And our energy fields communicate in certain ways that our conscious minds aren't aware of. And it's so cool that that's just, yeah, yeah, part of like the shadow, like part of our own power that we have not been able to see. But it's just like so cool, like becoming aware of it. And so, like, what can we become aware of? And what are we aware of right now? And so, yay for Good company, sharing love, friendship, and heartfelt exchanges. Ideas, inspiration, thoughts, encouragement, gratitude, and nourishment. Yay for sisterhood and camaraderie and for community, dwelling deeply together. So I'm all excited about spring. I have so many creative projects in the works and things that I've picked up again that I needed to kind of push to the back burner, and now like picking those things up and feeling like a lot more rested and oh, so much more freed up energy to play with. So yeah, getting excited for certain things and opportunities. Yeah, very potent windows of growth, transformation, seeding, building, expansion, and change, learning, playing, practicing, loving, love always. And then happy day yesterday with my sweet little granddaughter, and just realizing, yeah, that it is really all okay, and it is like love always. Just happy fun day, just with love always. Crying, laughing, sleeping, eating, pooping, crying, laughing, eating, sleeping, pooping, crying and smiling, happy and grateful. The world keeps going around, keeps turning. Yeah, and going in circles. That's the flow and the beauty of change, and allowing, responding, presencing, appreciating, blessing, praising, receiving, thanking, offering, valuing, sharing, surrendering, living, loving, and being. Yeah. So it was so fun. So fun to play with her. And she's getting to that little age now where she's almost 4 months, and she's just really smiley and happy, but she is like experiencing like, some separation anxiety because her mom is her whole world. And it's just, yeah, kind of fun to look at it from different lenses and things. And yeah, she's so adorable. But she's starting to grab things and like, yeah, just noticing different things now, like with her cognition and different things. And been playing with little drums and little rattles with her, and she was totally mesmerized by the drum and the rattle today and yesterday. And I actually played her my singing bowl today, and she absolutely loved that too. And so it's just so fun, like, yeah, just to be with her and actually like making time for certain things, um, opening up to that, just by being like certain things that I haven't made time for, like to enjoy on my own, but it's like a good opportunity for, like me to bond with my granddaughter too, and to play with these things with her. And so that's super super fun. I've been enjoying, yeah, all these fun little things, and just enjoying this phase and this stage that she's in right now. And like, yeah, enjoying where I am right now, and accepting and embracing and allowing and feeling peace about where others are at too. And it's like, it just feels like, you know what, it's all right. It's like, it is full and it is whole, and it is like, it is what it is. Yeah. And I'm just like accepting this and feeling like that amazing grace, feeling so held, so supported, so loved, and so safe when I hadn't felt safe for so, so long. And certain memories have been coming up from relationships in the past that, yeah, have been showing me certain things. How I was playing into certain dynamics unconsciously, and I kept choosing certain things that perpetuated suffering. Suffering for myself and suffering for others. And so even though I had good intentions, like to be a caregiver and to give to others, it didn't always serve. It wasn't always the best choice. It wasn't always the most loving choice to make. But it was a choice, that served my small self. And it did help me sometimes feel good about myself. But actually, in the long run, it was a form of self betrayal because I wasn't listening to my feelings and my intuition and to my inner knowing. And so, been inviting and opening to cultivate a deeper relationship with my inner knowing. And so that's been really, really, really potent. And I saw and got to listen to an amazing podcast yesterday that I had to share with like at least a handful of people because it was so good. It just made me want to jump up and and cheer about it because it was just everything. Like everything about it was medicine, and it was true, and it was love, and it came from the heart's wisdom. And so, yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. So, so, so grateful for. And I thought maybe today I would share a couple of these soul collage cards they're a huge stack on my desk. And I feel like some of these energies are going to be in my space for me to work with in the next little while in this next growth cycle. And have this little rattle here that my friend Christine made for me. It's made out of a bear hide, and she's got some feathers on there, and there's a little turtle charm. And yeah, having so much fun with this today. My little granddaughter is so mesmerized by it. It's so fun to play with. So thank you, Christine. Thank you for this magical medicine tool of love, joy, appreciation, creative fertility, and beauty. So grateful to receive these beautiful things, beautiful gifts, blessings, and offerings. So here's the first card. It's on my desk. And there's an Ouroboros here. Man in a coat is looking like he's in a very cold place, but he's got his little companion, a little dog with him, a little guide. And at the bottom there's a fish, and there's also a bird on the ground. And then on this side there's the skeleton. And so, yeah, maybe it's about the seen and the unseen, and the inner and the outer being joined, and the above and the below, and all of that. But we'll see what else comes up around that. And this card has a little bit of a different energy. There's a woman who's, kind of getting laced up, or maybe she's unraveling. Yeah, there's a corset there that looks like it's starting to, maybe she's just taking it off and letting go of some of the constriction or all those things. She looks like she's grieving and she's crying. She's on the outside looking in, and above that is a ladder, but the ladder doesn't lead to anywhere, and it just goes up, and there's only so far it can go. And so that's super interesting to me. And the background is like sand formations, like the desert, like the wind would create, like in the sand. And so, yeah, that's super interesting. So maybe it's about like looking at certain things in the past and leaving them behind. Yeah. To come into the true light. Kind of like acknowledging and accepting the shadow to step into the true light of wholeness. So the next card is a statue of Kuan Yin with her 1,000 arms, and all those aspects of the higher mind and the higher self. So compassion and faith and mercy and grace and this strength that we have and we hold and we can receive and offer, to ourselves and to we. And this is a card. There's Egyptian figures and Anubis in the center, and a woman carrying a huge water basin, and then a water skin sack. So it's like the water bearer reminds me of that energy, like that Aquarian energy. And there's Thoth, and then there's also like some kind of a demon on this card. And there's a beautiful, luscious flower and 2 butterflies that are emerging. So all of this has to do with life, death, life, and change and transformation, metamorphosis, and integration. So, yeah. Super powerful, interesting card. And yeah, there's a couple things that I see about that, but I'll just leave that for now. And this card, there's 3 women, and it almost reminds me of like the 3 fates, or just the Trinity, or the 3 aspects of the goddess, and the mother, maiden, and the crone. Just the 3, the power of the 3, and that fertility, and that interchangeability, and all part of the same thing. Different expressions at different degrees. And then this is another picture of Kuan Yin. And it looks like more in her androgynous aspect, where the feminine and the masculine are in balance and in union and in harmony. And this is a picture of a dark goddess here. And fires of purification. And I just love her silver dress she's wearing, and the contrast, of her dark skin. And it does seem like it is a cleansing and a purification card, and burning all that is no longer necessary, is no longer needed, burning that all away, to make room for the new life. And what is to be, what can be. And then I made this card in January of 2021. I feel, I own, and I transform my anger. And it's a picture of people in an Asian country. It was from a Newsweek in 2003, I think. And I just thought, wow, that's a perfect card for me, like in 2021, because I was so angry about so many things, and about like the self-deception and the self-made suffering, and suffocating ourselves and denying ourselves, repressing ourselves, suppressing ourselves, suffocating ourselves. The smother mother kept coming up for me in certain ways. And I have done a lot of work because I was willing to feel my anger. I was willing to own it, and I was willing to create something with it and allow it to be transformed. So that is like a really, actually powerful, huge card for me right now. And then this card, it's a mother and a child energy. And I'm not sure why I put Medusa's face over that mother's face, but just the snakes and the wings right there. And so, yeah, that is interesting as well. Unifying the two and the above and the below, like to access that wisdom. And there's that infinite well and this container to hold it in. Yeah, and there's this wording, it says to be on it, and it's yellow, and it has to do with the solar plexus and the will. And so that's something that I definitely get to embrace and to play with, yeah, this cycle. And then there is a unicorn. Unicorn, companion of mine, is seeing a reflection of itself and the light and the beauty, yeah, and the innocence, reminding me of my own innocence and my own purity and my own beauty and my own magic, my own magic to play with that lives within me. And here's another mother and child and a mirror. So that's going to be huge. And the mother, yeah, is the aspect within us that holds all other aspects. So she's a great ally and a great archetype and a beautiful part of ourselves to work with so that we can hold all of these painful things as we are going through this growth and birth, death and rebirth. Yeah. Transformation. The death of the ego, the death of the small self, the death of the cut off separate self, to come back home to wholeness, to all we are. Yeah. And this is a divine masculine figure, yeah, who holds wisdom. The father reminds me of the father. So it was kind of fun seeing some of these aspects in here. And also, there's another card of Nut, who's the sky goddess, and Jeb, who is the earth god. And yeah, some more Egyptian figures and things. And so that just makes me think of unification and uniting above and below, and the inner and outer, the left and the right. On this card, it's a seashell or a sand dollar, yeah, in the sand. And I just really loved the look of this card. And what this card told me when I made it a couple years ago was that, yeah, it's just about life and enjoying life and yield to life. Make room for life to grow and yield to life. And yeah, this one's pretty interesting. So the background looks like kind of atmospheric, and yeah, just reminds me of like the weather and the environment and the elements and those kinds of things, and broadcasting my own signature, broadcasting my own frequency, because it's joy and it's love and it's so very giving. And she's got like a purse in her hand, but she's reaching out, and it's like she wants to share, and it's like she doesn't need to keep it close to her because she knows everything is already within her. She doesn't need to cling to everything. She can reach out, and she can reach out to give, and she can reach out to receive, and she can reach out to experience like everything that's available. Yeah. Currently. Yeah, that currency. So regenerative feelings. Yeah. Keeping the currency circulating. Yeah, recirculating. Inflow and outflow. This is a picture of the Last Supper. Yeah. And so it's the number 13 and the number 12 again. So that's super interesting. And then a picture of a mountain and a lake, the waters and the sky, and the beautiful reflection. And here's another picture that's yellow. And it's of children, two children, a girl and a boy. And then there's this man that's watching, just and an apple here. and a dog. And so I'm not exactly sure what this is saying here, so I get to do a little bit of gazing and looking into it and see if it'll reveal any of its messages to me. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then here's a picture of a snake, and it looks like it's about to strike. It's got its jaws wide open, ready to bite. And so, yeah, maybe pay attention, yeah, to certain things. Be ye as wise as serpents, but as gentle as doves. And here's a vulture. Vulture is one of my favorite animals. Yeah, all the vulture represents. And I just think it's very cool that it has a 7 on there, and the background is gold. And it is all about life, death, life. And that service that Vulture offers to help clean it up so that life can continue, giving back to life by honoring death. So here's one more super interesting card here, like a bull on ready to charge and at a lighthouse. But is he charging, or is he bowing? Is he taking a bow? Yeah, to that light. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to look more into that one. And then picture of a swan baby, and it reminds me of the ugly duckling and my connection to that story, the ugly duckling. And yeah, what it reminds me of too was a couple weeks ago, I was just kind of looking back at certain stages and certain phases, and um, you know, like awkwardness has always been kind of uncomfortable for me, but it's something that I've actually made friends with lately. And looking back on some of my awkward moments and my awkward stages, and realizing that those were super, actually really beautiful for me. And so I wrote something about that too, that I don't need to reject any of that awkwardness, or anything that's awkward about myself or others. I can embrace that and I can love it, because it is such an essential part of the whole, too, as we are going through, different stages and phases of growth. Like, it's not all graceful and it's not all smooth, and it's not meant to be either, because we need that contrast and to experience all parts of the whole. And so it's being grateful for those awkward stages, and then it can also help me have compassion and relate as well, like to others when they're feeling awkward in their own like growth stages. So here's a picture of Saraswati, the goddess of music and song and art and healing, and like all learning, all forms of learning, and like words, and the scribe and the bard, like all those things. And she actually does remind me a lot of Bridget, um, who is a Celtic goddess of all those things, the Celtic goddess of the forge and alchemy and singing and writing and dancing, like, and music, all those things. Yeah, all those essential things for our creativity and fertility. Another card is turtle. There's a sea turtle and some sea snakes. And then there's also feathers here and drops of water that you can see are being repelled, because they're special feathers that actually, like, yeah, repel anything from coming in. And so what it sort of shows me is that, yeah, I am that ocean, and that ocean is a part of me. I am a part of that ocean, and that ocean is me. And so even though I'm swimming in it, there are certain things that I can just let, like, roll off my back, or like just roll right away, or be repelled, because of the intentions that I have, and the space that I honor, my boundaries that I honor. And yeah, knowing and trusting, like that I have all that I need, and I do have this protection when I need it for me. So that's affirming and validating messages for me to receive. And then there's another, it's really psychedelic. It's got butterflies, a scarab, the falcons, dolphins, and the hippo. And so it looks like a vortex and a portal, like we are going through these major cycles of transformation and growth. And it is all about life and death and, yeah, metamorphosis, changing, transforming. Yeah, through being true to who we are. There's a couple more, but here's a good one. Yeah. This one is all about the root chakra and stability and knowing our own roots and our connection to everything. And these totems, yeah, are definitely connected to my root to help me strengthen my connection with Mother Earth and with myself. Yeah, and yeah, heaven and earth. So bear is connected or corresponds to the third eye, the pineal gland. And yeah, going within. And a lot of things about bear that I love and I'm grateful for. Bears taught me a lot about me and about some of the cycles that I go through that I get to honor for me. And deer is so gentle, and she's embodies divine feminine energy and divine feminine wisdom and that faith and gentleness, that gentle strength and that grace. And yeah, it looks like the sun is rising, so it is a new day. And then in Hercules and the Nemean lion, and that was all about wrestling with all the things that I was so angry about. So confronting that anger within myself and yeah, wrestling with it, playing with it, seeing what it had for me and developing my own strength and my own character through those trials and challenges. They were not easy, but now I know who I am. And so that was the gift and the blessing of that challenge. And here's another. Looks like an ice cave. And there's another butterfly there. So going within and finding the treasure, where it was once frozen, yeah, now it is ready to bloom. So super awesome. Well, here's the last one. Is just a little twig with a dewdrop, and in that one drop is a reflection of everything around it, and so it just contains everything. That in that one little drop contains the whole ocean. It's a microcosm, macrocosm energy. So thanks for listening, and I hope you're enjoying spring, and I hope you're enjoying all the blooming and all of the things that have been planted and that are growing right now, and that get to be appreciated and attended to. So I'm sending all my love your way, wishing you well, wishing you peace, wishing you all good things, because you are worthy. We are worthy. All right, love y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.